No problem. Today was a really interesting day for me. I'm taking a statistics class for the
Oh,
first time in.
wow.
I know, huh? When I was in undergrad, I took a statistics class, but I cheated. Like I cheated big time. There was one student from statistics department who needed help, and I needed help. So we sort of helped each other pass the classes with A's. But honest to God, I have no information. And so for the last 2 days, I've been trying to teach myself some really weird stuff about t-tests and degrees of freedoms and Cohen's d and whatever. um, and like it's been a really interesting journey for me. Is there anybody who knows statistics here?
I used to know it. I'm supposed to be good at it, but I'm not sure like how confident I am.
Ah, okay. So I was taught to use two different software pieces, so JASP and Tableau. I can do the software bit, I just don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah, I never heard of those. I
Yeah.
might I might be able to help you with stat, but never heard of those softwares.
Yeah, yeah, Tom. So I might just ask for a little bit of an help if I
Yeah,
could
send me an
figure this out.
email, and if I can, I'll definitely.
Excellent, excellent. So the thing is, like I'm not doing the math. I'm not even expected to know the equations, which is great. Um, but I'm still having difficulty understanding the concepts. Or, like how do I express it in written form, like whatever. Anyhow, it's great to have somebody on my side. Yay.
Definitely.
Uh, and let's go ahead and take a look at what we are going to do today, because today we're actually going to have a look at our milestone assignment. So it's supposed to be finished, and I'm looking who submitted and who didn't. Well, it seems only one student didn't submit, and that student do not attend my classes anyway. I'm assuming that everybody's here, so that's great. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to do an official presentation, or not an official one, but like proper presentation. But we have to keep it short. And here's the thing, if you spend too much time talking about your work, I feel kind of weird stopping you, because, who am I to stop you? You guys are graduate students. I have no such authority. However, here's the thing that I'm going to say. If you want feedback on your work, you do want to keep your presentation short, because like if I realize that you're taking too long and that I have a lot of students to like to present yet, I will not, or I will either not offer any feedback or offer just very short feedback and not discuss your work. Is that fair?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so fair is fair. And so what do you want to say, or what should you say in a presentation such as this? Well, firstly, talk about the business. Okay, so what's the business? What's the concept? And do not go ahead and write the greatest American novel. Just 2 or 3 sentences should suffice. And if you still are curious, believe me, we will ask. And then talk about your design strategy and why you adopted that design strategy. and then present the work, so talking about, hey, here's my business card, and this is my logo, and you can say the logo is a representation of the concept that I'm going with, because it represents feelings of this, and as a result I'm using this typeface or these colors and whatever you want to say. And then if you have questions or concerns or particular areas of concern where you want more feedback on, then you should state those before just, like that's it, before saying that's it, okay? Again, I'm kindly suggesting that we keep the presentation part short and sweet, so that there is a good amount of opportunity for the rest of the class to respond to your work through a meaningful discussion, and that we go through everybody's work within this one session. So that said, I want to start with Ke Chui. Are you here? Amy. Hello, Amy. Okay, Amy's not hearing us. How about Irwin?
Sorry, I'm mute. Okay, just give me a second.
Yes.
So can you guys see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, so good afternoon, everyone. So basically, the company is Tech Tool Solutions. Tech Tool Solutions is an IT company. It provides services such as custom software and over-the-counter software, or sorry, off-the-shelf software solutions. So the design for the business solution. Probably I should discuss the logo. So the logo is a three-dimensional logo. So T as in tech, T, another T is for tool, and then S for solutions. And then yeah, so for the business information. So one of the this is a combination of feedbacks from our breakouts and other sessions. So in here, one of the recommendation is to make it like a grayscale so that the name would stand out. So that's what I did. I tried to make it grayscale and tried also to put some color on the name so that will stand out more. Okay, next would be the back of the business card. So again, this is the logo. So I chose the colors because blue represents security and trustworthy, which represents the company. Red represents the passion, which is the passion for creating tools. And then green is for calmness, so that we are able to work without any stress, and even with tight schedules. So this is basically the the color meaning of the logo. And then this is the, what do you call this, the letterhead. So a little bit long. So this is the letterhead. Okay, so basically it's the same, the logo and the address. And then this is the business envelope. So again, the return address and then the recipient address. And so yeah, that's basically the milestone for my assignment. Any question or? So for that, the feedback for that is to also
Oh, I'm so sorry. I've been talking again, and
oh
I'm so sorry. And you
no
probably
problem.
were wondering, what is this crazy woman doing to my business card?
No problem.
Okay. So what I was saying was that Tech Tool Solutions, I think I appreciate the fact that you're kind of aligning, you know, this thing, you know, from over here, when you draw a straight line, that it's almost, you know, aligned, which is great. That's one way to go about it. Another way is actually grabbing this content, this big information over here, and aligning that. So I'm talking about this information here, where you have, you know, the content, and then align that with Tech Tool, and then push all that information towards left a little bit. And if your name is too close to the edge, you can scale it down just a little bit. That will create a little bit more white space around here, and that will give us a really nice breathing room and a good eye movement within the card. Can we look at the back side of the card?
Okay, so Professor, before I do that, one question. So if I move the information a little to the left so that it will align the company name, how about the bar? Do I move it so that it will align the logo?
Yes, yes, you need
Okay.
to align it with it. And it would be a really nice, happy coincidence if the bar also aligned with the edge of that shape. And
Okay.
if this area seems a little too much, you can condense it a little bit more. You can bring Tech Tool Solutions a little closer to the icon.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Mm-hmm.
So the back of the business
Okay,
card.
so let's clear all the drawings. And over here, and there's something that I hadn't noticed before, that you are using a black stroke around that geometrical shape. And you see those two colors are so dark that my eye cannot even differentiate where, you know, between the black and blue. I can see it, but I cannot differentiate it that much. So I would suggest get rid of it.
Okay.
That the stroke is good. And can we look at your letterhead? Okay, looking good, looking good. And now that I'm looking more and more at this, I am still thinking that you can condense this space a little bit and give us a little bit more room from the top.
Okay. By the way, Professor, I know this is a little, it may be pretty obvious, but just want to confirm or make sure. So in the business card, the back, I'll remove the black stroke, but in here, I'll retain the black lines, right?
Yes, yes, you can retain it. Another possibility for that is, if you don't like the you know, frame, you can use, instead of a frame, a filled in color shape. But what would that color be? I don't know. I can't imagine any color going well with that. So I would probably just, you know, hold on to that black stroke here.
Okay.
And this one's looking good.
Um, Thank you very much.
Okay, so guys, is there anybody else who would like to add to this? All right, so we can move on to the next person.
Thank you.
My pleasure. And so is Kay Chui here? Amy, are you hearing us? No. Okay, Tom? Tom?
Hello.
Hi, do you want to go ahead and share your screen with us?
Sure. Give me a second.
Okay.
Yes. So this is still my old logo. I was gonna change it, but then work got crazy. But I made some changes as you asked. So I made those a little bit bigger and aligned those and get rid of the uh, icons.
Mm-hmm. I'm seeing something else on my end.
Oh, sorry. Hold on. No, it should be this one because oh my god.
Oh, that's all right. I mean, either will work. Let me share the screen and let me show you what I'm seeing, and then you tell me which one you want to do.
Okay, can you? No.
Oh, so this is the one that I'm seeing.
Oh no, I changed this a little bit.
Okay.
Okay, can you see now?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So made some changes to the old logo.
Mm-hmm.
Made those a little bit bigger,
Mm-hmm.
and then aligned this, and then got rid of the icons.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So hold on there, just a little bit, just a second. So I think that we're seeing some really nice stuff, but then I think that alignment could be improved because if I'm not mistaken, there's just a little bit of an alignment issue there, just a little bit. So go ahead and check. I might be wrong. If I'm wrong, like forget that, but I think this can be improved. Another thing is the distance between these three lines. I'm not sure if there has to be this kind of a distance,
Yeah, I can pull them
Yeah.
back together.
Yeah. I mean, the bigger idea would be to group the information. But you're stating only a couple of information bits there. The email address, the physical address, and the telephone number. So I don't know how to group them. It would be nice to have another group, another item so you can group your information and present the number of informations there in a nice, meaningful way. And do you have like a two color difference here, like darker gray and lighter gray?
That I don't know how I got that. It's supposed to be white everywhere.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So let's see the other one.
Other one is unchanged. So other one is still the one
Okay.
that
So it's the one that I have, with the blue top.
yes.
Okay.
So
Okay. I'm looking at it right now, and I'm looking at what you've got. Can you go back to your business card? So another thing that I'm noticing here, oh, no, that's all right. That's the same typeface. So I was just wondering if the typeface was the same one, but it is. Can we look at your letterhead and envelope design again, please? Right.
I need to bring the logo here.
Okay.
And
Yeah. Can you move? Okay. So it seems like you're using a couple of different blues. I would go ahead and check because this is much darker than that. And you're going to replace the logo and do all that stuff. Yeah, the rest is fine.
And then this is the envelope.
Okay. The envelope is looking good also. Now, is there anybody who would like to say something for this piece? All right. Thank you, Tom.
Thank you.
All right. And so, Xin Yang Weng, Bonnie, that's you, right?
Yes, yeah, I'm here.
Okay. Do you want to share your screen?
Sure. Let me share my. Can everyone see?
Yep.
Okay, so so this is my milestone. So hi everyone. I'm doing a business based on a cafe that I'm going to open in the future. So my business is called Cafe Sodra. So my ideas of Cafe Sodra is based on giving this Southern California American cafe look that's going to open in Taiwan. So I want to give people that these lay back and relax on southern hemisphere for the people over there. So for my logo and then like everything like my typeface, I kept the same color because I feel like it fits the theme and then the image of my cafe. So this is the logo for my cafe. And then so basically, this will be a space that offers some like good quality cafe, and then dessert, and then for as well flower arrangement, and also offers people for party location rentals. So this will be a cute and a fun space. So you can see on my business card, like I put like all those informations on there. So I have like two different designs. So on the left and then right, and then for the next one, on the left because it's for a cafe. So I created like I designed a stickers and then a tape for my packaging instead of the letterhead. And then on the right here, I created like I designed an invitations and then an envelope right here. So this is just something that I would do for the future and then for my design, and that's it.
Okay. Can you take us back to your business cards, please?
Mhm.
Okay. Where's my annotations? Oh, goodness, I can't see my annotations now. Okay. Huh. It's funny, sometimes the annotations are there, sometimes they aren't. Why is that? Okay, so I can't find my annotations. So what I'm going to do is
Patience.
don't worry about that. That's fine. So I'm looking at the left-hand side, top left-hand side, and I'm looking at party location rental and its proximity to the lower line, and that is a little too small.
Okay.
And same way to the right of the frame, that is also a little too small. So I would
Okay.
like you to give it more room.
Okay.
And can you go to the next, please? Okay. Yeah, the sticker type is fine. Type and coffee packaging. All right, that's also fine. I think, you know, hold on a second. Just give me a second, please. It's not there. Yes, I'm in class right now. So I'm looking at your Celebrate With Us card. I'm assuming this is the invitation, isn't it?
Right.
Yeah, so I want you to look at Celebrate With Us and you're invited, that space. And then I want you to look at Saturday 13 and to the address, that space.
Okay.
Now, those two spaces are not carefully aligned because I understand that you either want to be top heavy with a design like this, or you want to be bottom heavy. And the distribution of negative space in this is a little awkward.
Okay.
So I would try this, you know, don't worry about making it uneven, because oftentimes we make these types of decisions because we want even distribution. And in graphic design, sometimes even distribution, most often, is not a good idea. What we want is actually areas of denseness and areas of emptiness, because those areas of emptiness, as we call them, negative spaces, that is what gives us that big expansion, that luxurious feeling.
Right.
So I want you to kind of rethink the distribution of negative and positive space, and see if you can make it a little bit more, you know, like give us more negative space, more meaningful negative space.
Yeah, sounds good.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
And let's take a look at the next person. All right. Johanna.
Yeah.
Okay, do you want to share your work?
Yeah. So my is Selfie with Cuddle. I had two choices, but and then doing this logo because I really like the combination with the colors. I chose blue because in health is used for trust and stability, and then fuchsia sort of pink is it shows compassion and caring. So I think fitting the two of them, and she is a trainer, and also she would like to become an influencer in fitness. So yeah, so this is the logo, this is the letterhead that I did. And this is the, I'm sorry, it didn't do it, forgot to move this, but this is part of the envelope on the other side and in front, and then this is the business card.
Wow, Johanna,
yeah.
Goodness, girl, what have you been doing?
I mean, working hard on this because I put myself like, okay, I really want to learn. And then I learned from you that the simple, the better. So, and I realized that is true.
I've lost my words. This is such an improvement.
Oh, thank you.
I am dead serious about that. Did you like ask for any help from someone?
No, I did it. You know, I just remember all the feedback you gave me and try to put a very aesthetic look simple because I realized that when you put a lot of things, it looks too much. So I learned that. Yeah.
Okay, well, you know, whatever it was, it worked for you, and this is amazing.
Thank you. I spent a week working on this arena. So
This is amazing. You know, this is really beautifully done, and I am so pleased with the result. I'm very, very pleased. That is looking awesome.
oh, thank you. It's you. You had a talent to push me because I felt I wasn't confident enough for this is my first time taking this. So you're really good in the class too.
Look at this work. I mean, you know, I love your business card. That is amazing. I love it. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
How cool is that? Good job. Good job. I'm really, really pleased.
Also, I learned from you because I didn't realize, and now it's something weird that happens when you learn something, that you started to see things different. So when you teach us how have to be the letters equal, you know, like it makes sense, like in order, but the same march.
Yeah.
Yeah, that it was really important because I didn't realize that before. And now that I see some logos on the street when I'm driving, I'm looking different. Yeah.
I mean, look at this. You know, I really like how you aligned all that stuff and how you chose, how you created, you know, a hierarchy by doing this big and by doing this small. That is amazing. That's really very good design. And then you have placed your logo right over here, and you're giving me all this free space, negative space, which is awesome. I love that. Really, really good job.
Thank you so much.
Okay. Well, now my expectations from you will be very, very high.
Okay.
Well, you did good. You did good. So congratulations.
Thank you so much, and thank you for you because you pushed me, and that was good.
Well, you were allowing me to push you because some students don't allow me to do that. So, you know, it worked.
Yeah, I please keep doing it because I think I needed to go further and believe in my skills. Yeah.
Good job.
Thank you so much.
My pleasure. So, Yilin.
Yes.
Are you here?
Yeah.
Do you want to go ahead and share your screen?
Yeah, just give me a couple of seconds. Sorry, I'm still looking at my thing. Okay, I got it. Hey, can you guys see my screen?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, so this is gonna be my logo. My company is about a phone case customized web base. So everything will be you purchase online. So this is my logo case stem, and oops. And the second one is my business card. Yeah, so everything I put the slogan here to make it not against the edge, and a website, a little website here. my name, my job title, the phone number, my email address, and address of my company. Um, and I fit the same color on the edge, make it a little balance here. Next one is my envelope. So this is gonna be a official envelope for the company, or like they sending any mail to a customer. So the logo, and here is my address, and here is a little slogan here I put. And next one is the sex note for the customer, and or a letterhead, and sometimes my company will put the receipt, or like a thanks card in an envelope here. Yeah, that's pretty much done. Thank you.
Is the class, does the class would like to offer any feedback? No feedback?
I like the design of her business card. Yeah, it's simple, but it provides the necessary space plus the information needed, but does not put too much crowd or put a lot of information in the card. So good job on that.
Thank you. I'm not really sure about the background color though. It's a little too pinkish, maybe.
For me, I think it's good. It brings out the color, the two colors, the circular colors. It brings that out more because of your background. So for me, I think it's a good combination.
Thank you.
All right. Yelin, you've been going really strong from the beginning, and this is very pleasing.
Thank you.
It looks good.
Yeah, I take out the texture of the thing, of the logo, and yeah, and all my business cards, but I keep the texture on the envelope to make it a little bit vintage style. Yeah.
Yeah, I can see that. Nicely done. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, is Wang Kin Su hearing us?
Yes.
Okay, so do you want to share your screen?
Okay. Oops. Can you see my screen?
Yep.
Okay. So this is my business card. I changed the font color to make it pop a little more, and the backside will just be the logo. And and here is the letterhead. So I decided to move all the address and other information down to the lower left with my name, so the header can stay clean and all the information will be here. Oh, and yeah, and this is the envelope. So I try to create some blocks just to add some interest to it, and also as a consistent elements throughout those three items. And this is the back, it stays the same. And this is the inside of the envelope.
Can you take us back to the business card, please? Yeah. Can you zoom in? Yeah. Okay. So the information here is still a little bit too close to the edge. And I think that this is also Goodness, it's very difficult to see. But here's what I would do with this. It would create a little bit more structure. So if you could align the height of your telephone number into this space, exactly. That would have been a really, you know, like satisfactory thing for my OCD.
Yeah, I think that helped.
And then another thing that I'm wondering is that I'm not really sure if these dots are giving us anything at all. Like, what's the function of those dotted lines?
Yeah, I think I added it in the very beginning because I feel it's more like texture thing just to add some interest. But yeah, I've been debating myself whether to keep it or not.
Yeah, I mean, you know, like I think because it doesn't really it doesn't really add anything to the design, I would just get rid of it if I were you.
Oh, I think another reason I kept it is to align the address line on the left, on the right. Yeah, because it's a larger text block. So I kind of feel if it stands out too much, it kind of breaks the structure a little bit.
No. I mean, you know, like the way I see it. Okay, so let's see, how would that go? I mean, you know, like if you really wanted to create drama with this, you could grab this red line and position it kind of like really close to the top end, like that. And then think about whether you want to be top heavy or bottom heavy with your information. And then shift the information a little bit. Now, do we really need to have this bit, this, you know, this line extend all the way here? Because when you do so, you're automatically highlighting the importance of the telephone number.
Yeah.
You see that? I mean, you know, if that is your intention, cool. If that is not your intention, then don't. Because I'm guessing that Bake was a software, right? You're trying to sell software?
Yes,
Correct
it's
me if I'm wrong.
yeah, it's basically a software.
Yeah, so maybe the most important information there is the website.
Yeah, I think that makes a lot of sense. Yeah.
Yeah, and then, you know, like if depending on how much drama you wanna introduce over here, you can play with your white space accordingly. But I definitely think that you could, you know, you could make this space a little bit more because it's a little too condensed over here. It's almost like, you know, this side is a little heavier.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Can we go to the other screen?
Yeah.
Okay, so let me get rid of all those stuff. Okay.
The back.
Oh, the back is fine. The back is lovely. Love it. Okay, so stay here for a little bit. Okay, so here's what I am questioning. So all of a sudden you have a higher box, a taller box, and you have a medium-sized line and slightly smaller line. And that is making me question quite a bit of things. Are you trying to create some kind of a hierarchy, or are things happening because, hey, you know, like you're bored or you want to do some stuff? If I were you, I would keep the thickness of those lines more or less similar, and also the space over here and the space over, whoopsie, over here similar, the same.
Mhm.
Can you do that?
Yeah, of course.
Okay. And now can we look at your envelope?
Oh, just to make sure, so do you mean I center the logo?
Oh, no, don't center the logo. No, that's not what I mean. I mean, you know, like I'm talking about this in comparison to that.
Oh, I see. Oh, yeah, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, because it's making me wonder, like, why is this wider? Why is this wider than this? Why is this taller than that? And why this thickness is medium sized? I'm sorry, thinnest. This one is thinnest. This one is medium, and this one is thickest. So I'm trying to understand what these symbols mean. What are you trying to create over here? Whether it's like hierarchy or drama or whatever that is. So I would just re-evaluate those elements.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
This is the letter.
Okay. Oh, this one is probably my favorite
Oh, thank
because you're really, really itching my OCD here, and I love it. So what I'm seeing here is almost the same size here, the same size there, the same size there. If they aren't the same size, make sure that they are. And also, you know, like standardize this way of creating design, because this looks really cool over here, right? And we want to use more or less the same symbolism or same vocabulary in the other deliverables also. That's your branding there.
Mhm.
Okay. Is there anybody else who would like to say something? Okay. So then let's go ahead and take a look at the next person.
Thank you.
My pleasure. Lindsay,
Yes, yes, I'm here.
okay, would you
Yeah.
like to share your screen?
Yeah. 1 minute. How can I? Okay. Yeah. This one. Last time, because you didn't ask me to change a lot. I think I upload the wrong version. This is the right version, but I didn't upload it. Anyway, last time I remember you asked me to align the title here with the contact address. So I just aligned them, and these are all my work. I didn't change a lot. Yeah.
Okay.
Here is the letter, and is the envelope.
God, yeah, that's perfect. Really good. Can we look at the other side of the business card?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So over here, I think that this distance should be the same as this distance.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a little too much. And you may also think about, you know, like formatting your text, justified, like
I'm sorry, what was that?
right justified like
Okay.
this. So, you know, like G aligning with the R.
Okay.
So just try it. If it is looking good, then it's looking good. If it is not, then don't even worry about it. Other stuff is looking really good. Nicely done, C. Thank you. Kexin,
Yes.
can we look at your screen?
Yes, absolutely. Okay. So here's my business card. I changed some distance, like with you know, the text away, being more away from the edge. And here's my letterhead. And I changed the layout of the button line, like with the phone number and the website information. And the envelope, I got rid of the additional information that was in the wrong space, and I put everything more simplified on the left. And I slightly tweeted the distance with the address and the logo, because you were saying it's like it felt less centered because the shape of the logo, and also the distance with the slogan on envelope.
Okay. Is there anybody who would like to comment on the work? Because I feel like I've said a lot.
I like it. It looks very professional and is elegant. Relates to the brand. I just remember the other class you told her to parties should be a little bit bigger. I don't know if for my screen is I barely can see it, but yeah, that's all. Good job.
Thank you. I was actually debating to get rid of the slogan on the business card, because I feel like it looks more, you know, luxurious and higher class without it, because now it's just like saying, hey, look at us, we're really, you know, established business, but I don't want to send that kind of message.
Yeah, I mean, I think I agree with you. If you were to get rid of that slogan, it is like, I don't need to tell you who I am or what I do.
Yeah.
You know, you already know me. I'm well known. Yeah, I agree with you. But I think you did a good job with this, Kex, and it's really looking good. So if I would like to take a little break, like about 10-15 minutes. Which one do you like, 15 minutes or 10 minutes?
10 minutes would be fine.
Okay, let's do 10 minutes then. And when we come back, we're going to finish all the critiques and we're going to talk about the next project and what we're going to do in between now and the start of the next project. Okay?
Okay.
So right now, let's say it's 7 o'clock and let's come back here at 7:10.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Are we back?
Yeah.
Okay, great. So what I would like to do is I would like to look at, well, we've got Jenny Jin and Kechui, right? Just those two students whose work we didn't look at, right? That's what I'm seeing here. Is Kechui here? Kechui? Amy?
My internet is not working
Okay.
well today, so it's kind of hard to.
Okay, so if your internet is not reliable, do you want to present or do you want to bypass?
I'm sorry, I can't hear you.
Okay, and so if your internet is not reliable, do you want to still try and present or do you want to pass this time?
I can try next time, you're saying?
Okay, yeah.
Oh, thank you.
Okay, so then Jenny Jin, can we have Jenny Jin present?
Yeah, sure. Hi everyone. My company is an Asian food delivery company, and mostly it is for the Chinese food. And this is the business card. My company is called Eating. And this is a letterhead. These are the envelopes.
Can I look at your letterhead, please?
Sure.
Okay, stay there. So the barcode right over here, this one, this isn't necessary.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Because this isn't going to be scanned. This is going to be used by the company to write a letter to a person. And come to think of it, the name is not necessary neither. So you can put your address and telephone number. Those would be the information that you would place there. Can you zoom out a little?
Let me see.
Oh, no, zoom out.
So, smaller?
Yeah. Scroll down. Hold on. Yeah. So you already have that information down here. You don't, I mean, we normally don't have a personal email address here. You may want to put like an email address, but that should be like an information email address. Can you zoom? I'm sorry, can you go up? Yeah. Then all this information becomes irrelevant. So just get rid of it.
Okay.
Okay. Is there anybody else who would like to say something about the work?
I like the business card design, but I'm not 100% sure about the fork, like the gray shape on the left. I feel like there's like a discontinuity with that, like the little white edge on the left.
Yeah, I kind of agree that this is like an this sort of feels like an afterthought right over here, and really it doesn't belong. I think that, you know, just we have the fork already there, then that should be fine. And quite honestly, I think even in the logo, can we look at the logo up close and personal?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think even in the logo, like the fork, I don't know. I think I could like do away with the fork, but if you want to have it, you can have it. I suppose. But what I'm also going to say is this over here, the proportions between the white space, the negative space between the fork and the eaten looks much better than this version over here. And I would agree that I would also do away with this fork entirely. And this one also, do we need that? I don't know. Can we look at your envelope?
Yeah.
Yeah, your envelope looks good, actually. Is there anybody else who would like to say something? Again, do away with the fork.
Yes, I personally I like the reflection, the shade of the fork.
Okay.
But maybe bring out a little bit of the handle. It'll be a little bit better, maybe.
So if you feel like you want to incorporate it, there might be a way for it to be incorporated instead of using a like this shape. Maybe you want to use a fork that has some noodles on it, but it's a photograph.
Yeah, that would be better because the fork for that shade was the shape of that fork is too sharp. So yeah, bring a little dangerous feeling.
Yeah. So if you were to like create, like bring in a photograph that is extracted from its background so that the background is all white or transparent, and it sort of is coming up like this, you know, here's the fork. Oh goodness, I can't draw, right? And then here's the noodles. Then it's a little bit, you know, or a meatball or whatever you want to put on the fork. Then it's like yum, you know, and that would be a little bit more relevant. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. All right. So this was the last bit that we were going to talk about in terms of the work that we were looking at today. Now I want to talk to you a little bit about next week. So I decided that we should do a little bit of typography, and I've given you a couple of websites. Here's a really beautiful website that you may want to go ahead and visit. And this is the typography, and it's a visual guide. And it's kind of fun because, you know, it's got the human person over here and the name of the parts of the letters. And in the assignment, I'm saying, hey, you know, like look at this and pick 3 vocabulary items that you're intrigued. So maybe you never, like ascender, you don't think you will remember that, or descender, or swash, or, you know, like counter or spur. So any one of the 3 that you're intrigued, I want you to kind of redo these in Illustrator by using a different typeface and a different illustration. So you can choose to, for example, you're thinking about counter, right? And you can put any O from your fonts And it's very easy to, you know, like create this type of a look inside that counter space, right, in Illustrator. And so, well, what about the counter space? Does it have to be a human body for the counter space? Can we use another type of, you know, object? So for example, right off the bat, you know, this cup, the handle, the space in here is also counter space because that's like the negative space, right? So if you can think of any other object that has a negative space in it, that would work. And if you don't know how to draw it, you can trace it. So you can actually grab an actual photograph and trace it because you guys have learned how to use the pen tool. You can do that now. So that's one assignment. Is there any questions about that?
So, Professor, sorry, I'm a bit slow right now. So basically, just to confirm my understanding, we're gonna check the website that you provided, and then based from that, we're gonna look for 3 of those words that we are not really that think that we're gonna use a lot, and then we're gonna in that site there's the corresponding picture, and that's what we're gonna do in Illustrator. Is that correct?
Yes. And the assignment sounds a little bit like silly, but I wanted to hit 2 birds with 1 stone. I wanted you to continue practicing your pen tool skills. And I wanted you to also explore a little bit more about typography. So that is why this assignment sounds the way it sounds, but basically, yes.
Okay, thank you very much.
And then the second assignment is creating hierarchy. And here's another website that you can go into. And this is a really amazing exercise. And it's like a poster exercise, right? This is the type that your client gives you. And then as a graphic designer, you need to sit down and look at the semantics of the text and then decide what pieces of information belong together. And then once you do this type of a grouping, just like we did with the business card, if you do remember, and then you decide what is the most important piece of information that we need to develop here, that we need to, you know, like, what is that one thing that is going to tickle the audience's mind so they will be more motivated to come to the lecture series. Then obviously the typography of Paul Rand, one of the most famous graphic designers. So that is one solution, right? And then let's push this a little bit more. And this would be the result. Let's push this a little bit more. This would be the result. And furthermore, with the introduction of the color also, right? So a couple of things to kind of pay attention to, that you do not change the font. The font stays the same. Okay. And you can use different weights of the font in this exercise. And you can use different scales and placements and all that stuff. The whole idea is to just go ahead and create an exciting but simple design. Okay, so I don't like this particularly. I really don't, because, you know, when you look at it and you look at the, you know, the distribution of white space, it looks a little too busy for my eyes. I am liking this and that, and I think that you could do kind of like a little bit more interesting stuff with these and see what you can do. So obviously there are a lot of opportunities out there that you can do with these things. And in Illustrator, I want you to create an artboard that is letter size, that is 8.5 by 11, and then choose a font and And typically we want to choose a sans serif font. And then, you know, like after reading this and looking at the work and analyzing the work to yourself, go ahead and offer just one additional design solution to this problem. Is that making sense?
So we use exactly the same content as the one
Exactly
on the
the
website.
same content, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, gotcha.
And if you want to, you can also look up Swiss design. And you know, this exercise typically is given when we do Swiss design or typographic alignment design. And you may find some really exciting and interesting solutions. And let me give you a couple. What was that dude's name? Oh goodness, this time of the day, my brain cells don't work. There's this, yeah, Miller, okay. So there's a really famous guy whose name I forgot. The last name is the only name that I'm kind of remembering, and that's obviously not it. Oh yeah, Joseph Miller, right. And then if you were to go in here, you will see a whole bunch of really interesting examples, including these, you know, like broken apart examples, and this type of examples. And so you can look them up. And so this one, for example, he is well known for looking at a lot of text, ridiculous amount of text, and then organizing that text in such a way that it becomes very easy to find the information. All right. So on the left one, the red background, when you look at it, it says State Theater, and then you see June. It's a festival in Zurich in 1959. And then we're seeing the names of the shows and then information about those shows. And everything is done in a grid structure. And if you look at how he is creating hierarchy, is first off, he's using one font. So it is typically this would be a font like Helvetica, right? And then he's using one font and he's just playing with the color and the scale of it. So this is the biggest, as you can see. This is the second, medium size, and these are the smallest sizes. So he doesn't use a lot of different visual vocabulary. Even when it comes to like scale, he's using 3 different sizes of the same font. He's using red, black, and white as colors. And he's not using any other, like photographs or illustrations or anything like that, but he's still doing something really ridiculously beautiful. Now I want you to pay attention to the alignment from over here all the way down here. So everything aligns so beautifully and nicely. And when you look at the blue background piece, that is also really beautifully aligned if you kind of look at everything, and it just looks like almost like a architectural presence, you know, like the columns that carry the weight, and they're so very elegant. So that's one thing that you can look at. Joseph Müller Brockmann, that's the name. And you can also look at Swiss design. And so you can see similar design pieces over there also. Look at how beautiful this typography is laid out. And you have a lot of information, but you're still delivering that information without making it a mess. And then there are other types of grids that they have used, including radial grid and modular grid in between. So when you look at this Beethoven, that if you know, like imagine a straight line that comes from, that's just beautiful. Here's another example. And there are a lot of really amazing, beautiful examples that you can look at and be inspired by when you attack that one exercise. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, let me stop sharing.
So, Professor, just to
Yes.
confirm, so for this second assignment, we're in charge on how big the font size is gonna be, but the content should be exactly the same, but the font size is what we could play around with, right?
Absolutely. And colors is up to you also. But what I'm advising is do not go crazy with the number of vocabularies that you're using. Keep them small, keep them simple. Here's the thing that I have learned during the entire duration of my creative career. Whenever you limit the vocabulary, whenever you limit the opportunities, or, you know, like whenever you give somebody a little bit of money, but not a lot of money, and then you inspire them, and then they come up with something really, really beautiful. So the way that I can explain it, I really cannot form my thoughts right now, but if I may give you an example, when you think about expensive Hollywood films, and when you think about independent movies or international movies that are done with very small budgets, but the story touches you and it doesn't leave you, and, you know, like a couple of months or several years go by, but when you look back and think about what movies I have seen that year, and you still are remembering that independent movie because it somehow touched you so much, and you don't really remember the Hollywood movie that they spend millions and millions money by doing like computer graphics and all that stuff. That's what I mean.
Okay.
So it's
Thank you
like
very much.
limit the amount of visual vocabulary, explore your creativity, because then, only then, you can really fully explore the limitations of your creativity, because you're pushing yourself.
Okay,
Otherwise,
so,
you have a lot of resources, you're always like coming up with an easy solution.
okay. So, Professor, I apologize. I'm a bit slow right now. So earlier you showed us like a grid type of the text has been cut into some sort of a grid wherein
Oh,
not
yeah,
the
yeah,
whole
yeah, I
text.
remember
Yeah.
that.
So
Yes,
we could do something similar like that, right? I mean,
absolutely.
when you mentioned about be exploring, that's what you're
Yes,
referring.
yes,
Okay, thank you.
yes.
Thank you very much.
Mm-hmm.
I had a question. When you trace an image, you put it in Illustrator and you use the pen, but can you use the pen over, like when we did with the with our name, like you have to put 2 layers, like you put the imagine on the artwork and then you pen over, because I haven't.
Yes.
Okay.
So you will bring in an image in the bottom layer and then lock it up, and then on the top layer you will trace the image just like you did with your name.
Oh, okay. Okay, thank you.
You do know how to bring an image into an Illustrator document, right?
Yeah, I did it the other day just to play with it, but I still have to practice more with the pen. My name is too long and it took me hours to. It's not easy, or at least for me is I need more practice with it.
You know, like that's why I gave you this assignment, because if I hadn't given you the assignment, then you know, it's very easy to forget the pen tool if you really don't know it truly. So for you, I mean, if the pen tool is difficult for you, choose some easy objects to trace.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, so it's record time. We're done. Do you have any questions?
One last question, Professor. So
Yes.
I know we discussed about the milestone right now, and do you want us to submit an updated one, or that's it for the milestone?
Oh, no, that's it. I think that we have given a lot of feedback, and
Okay.
we've done well. I want to kind of hint at what we're going to be doing next. We're going to brand a mom and pop restaurant. So mom and pop restaurant means that it's a very small restaurant that is owned by a family, and they're very poor. The food is delicious. People love the food, but because they do not have enough money to hire a good designer, oftentimes their design pieces kind of not good. So what I'm going to ask you to think about will be to think about all of your, favorite restaurants that you have been to that weren't chain restaurants, that belong to a family or a small group of people or whatever. And then if they need a better looking logo, you can go ahead and go after that. But if you want to come up with a entirely new concept for a restaurant, you can also do that. So we're not embarking on it right away, but I'm kindly hinting at it right now, just so that you keep your eyes open about the restaurants, or start thinking about restaurants, and also menus. And I want you to particularly think about and open your eyes about the menus of such poor restaurants. Oftentimes the menu would be horrendous, and we will try and attack the menu assignment also. We're trying to go ahead and do a better menu for them. Okay, this is just a hint about what's going to happen. And I cannot give this assignment a lot more time. So we've got to work much faster with this restaurant assignment. The deliverables will be the same thing as this assignment, the logo, business card, letterhead, envelope design, and on top of it, we're going to do a menu.
Sounds exciting.
I know. And then the last project of this class is going to be a tea packaging project, where you're going to develop your own brand for a tea, and you're going to design a tea box and, you know, like do a packaging project for 3 different flavors. So those are the next 2 big projects that we're going to be working on.
Sounds good.
All right. So if there are no more questions, I am ready to end the meeting. All right, guys, have a wonderful weekend. And if you have any questions, please do email me.
Okay,
Thank you very much.
Professor.
Have a good weekend.
Goodbye.
Bye.